All right. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with Mastermind Agent. And if you're looking for the Referral Mastermind Call, you're in the right place. While we're waiting for people to join us, we'll go ahead and get started. We do these calls, we have three parts to them. One, I talk about a new idea that you can get more repeating referrals from your friends, family, and past clients. Two, we open up for questions, Q&A, that you may have any questions on how you could get more repeat and referral. And then third, we open it up for any question you have about your real estate practice on any topic and how you think you could do better and move your business forward. So those are the three things we're going to talk about today. I'm sitting here in Denver, and it is cold. I don't know if you're experiencing a cold front, but we've had the last couple of days, we've had a high of 9 degrees, and it's been as low as zero. I've been going to bed where it was zero and getting up to zero. That's kind of unusual for us, but hopefully wherever you are, you're staying warm. All right, so I'm going to start in on the first idea for repeat and referrals, and it's actually a common theme. Let me give a little background first, and that is you should set up an annual marketing plan after you've established your list. That's usually the step number one, where, believe it or not, most people stop, but that's something you want to get done. Get your list up and running, and then clean your list annually. This is also a good time to be cleaning through your list, making sure it's a strong list. Then you want to create an annual marketing plan. And in the annual marketing plan, you're going to have different activities you're going to do throughout the year. So it's easy. And once you're getting busy and activities are happening, it's already scheduled out in your calendar. So it's very easy to exercise on. Right now, we're sitting at the end of January. It's the 31st of January, and we're coming into February. And I also want to give another perspective. I've explained this a few times and people really liked it. And that is this, for most markets, we're starting to pick up, right? We're amping up into the spring and summer markets. Most places in the US, that's when the most activity and volume happens. Now, you may be in a market that's different, especially if a resort market could be some other cycle, but you need to know your local cycle. And you need to anticipate. The biggest problem most people have, for instance, I'm here in Denver, we have the biggest volumes of contracts happening in April and May. Well, those people that are getting in contracts, if you wait to start contacting them in April, May, you're too late. They're making plans 60, 90, 120 days before that, which is basically right now, right? So you got to be getting in front of these people now to make sure that you're in their mind and you have a little mind share when they're ready to actually take some action, which is going to be in the next couple weeks or a couple months for most markets. So now is the time to start reaching out and talking to your people. Do not delay, even though it may be cold in your market. Things are going to heat up here pretty soon, and you can't wait until they're hot to get in the market. You're kind of too late, and you're catching the back end of the market. If you want to do a lot of volume, that's not going to help. So now is a great time to get out there and meet people. And basically, it's all about getting in a conversation with folks. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Right now is a pretty cool opportunity, and that is in the month of February. We got Valentine's Day, right? So you always want to look for a holiday. If you can't think of something that you do historically or traditionally, look for a holiday, because holidays are a great time to tap into something that everybody's doing, but kind of have your spin on it or your benefits. So you can do holidays and seasonal changes and so forth. But you got this holiday coming up. Valentine's Day, it's kind of a fun one for most people as well. And so it'd be a good one for you to be reaching out to your people. You got a couple weeks to start putting something together and execute on it. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be. You can do a big giant gala dance, I guess. That'd be kind of cool. You could do a big dinner with 100 of your favorite friends, right? That'd be pretty elaborate. But you don't have to do anything that high end. I was thinking right before the call, you could do something as small as, remember when you were a kid in elementary school and you do these little cards that you would send out to the other kids in the classroom, and you maybe do those little heart-shaped candies, and they said, be my Valentine or something like that, or will you be mine, or whatever. They had little sayings on them. I thought, yeah, it'd be kind of cute to just put those together in a little package and send them off to maybe your top 10 or top 20 people on your list, and just have a little fun with it, right? Just kind of go back to your kid's spirit and have a little fun. That might be enjoyable. And I bet you it's going to start conversations. And the most important thing is going to put you top of mind. You're always looking for ways that you can become more top of mind with your people, because that's the key to referrals. You have to be in their head when they wake up that day and go, it is time to move because of whatever the reason. And the next thought that needs to be going through their mind is, I need to call, I need to call Mike. All right. I need to call whoever. They need to have your name on their tongue is their next thought. All right. And then hopefully they speak that to their if they're connected, their spouse or their friend or their significant other. Anyway, that's the kind of thing you need to be thinking about. And right now, you got this great opportunity because everybody understands and loves and appreciates Valentine's Day. We recommend you do a Valentine's Day kissing contest. That's a lot of fun. Their award for that is a dinner for two at a local restaurant, right? So it's a nice low budget giveaway, and it's really a contest where the way that we set it up is you let people know that they just need to take a picture of themselves or someone significant in their life doing a kiss, right? So you can kiss your kids on the cheek, you can kiss your lover on the lips, whatever, and you're getting the picture of that, and you post it in your Facebook group. And the posting is what enters them into the contest. That's all they have to do is take a picture and post it in the Facebook group. And of course, you've created your Facebook group. And then you just do a random drawing. There's random number generators. You can go to Google and type in random number generator. You put in the total number of entries that you had, it'll spit out a random number, and that's your winner. That's pretty cool and easy to do. And then you hand out the grand prize of, say, $100 gift certificate to go out to this great restaurant in your local town. You could do it more expensive than that or less or whatever is in for your local market. You can also have multiple awards, right? So you could have like first place is a $100 gift certificate, second place is a $50, and third place is a $25. Now your whole total budget is $175, and that's pretty cheap in the big picture of things. But the beauty of this is that it gives you a reason to reach out and touch base with your people, call them up and say, hey, I'm doing this contest. Would you be interested in being part of this? And whether they say yes or no doesn't matter. You are now top of mind again. You've bumped yourself up in their level of their top 3 agents. You bumped yourself back up to number 1. And this, again, is the time. I can't stress this enough. This is the time of the year that you want to be in front of your people. Do not hold back. Do not say, oh my gosh, it's cold outside, I'm going to sleep in. This is when you need to be active. If you want to have a fantastic, strong spring and summer market where you're selling a lot of property, you want to be out there right now in front of all these folks that are on your list. So anyway, I hope that helped and gave you a couple of ideas. Let's do this. Again, we got the 3 parts to our call as a reminder. I give you a new idea. We talk about anything you want to talk about with referrals, and then we talk about anything you want to talk about in your practice. Let's talk about this just for a quick second. Is anybody on the call going to do a Valentine's Day event of any kind, giveaway, contest, anything tied around Valentine's Day, even a postcard you're going to send out, or you could do a posting to social media. Again, you just want to be in front of people. Are you going to do anything? And if so, what? If you are, go ahead, unmute yourself. Let us know what you're thinking about doing.
Hey guys, Silvana here.
Hey, Savanya, how are you?
I'm doing well. Actually, I'm doing my first client appreciation event on the February the 9th. So it's going to be kind of tied down into the Valentine's theme.
Cool. That's awesome. Congratulations. What is the event going to be? What are you going to do?
I sent this invitation.
Please join me. Yeah. For Client Appreciation Social. Awesome. Yeah. And Bonterra, is that right?
Yeah, Bonterra is a restaurant that one of my friends own, and he has like a little on the second floor, like a room where I'm going to be gathering with my clients. So I sent a physical address, invitation on an envelope like this.
Oh, nice. Well, I like that. That looks good. Yeah.
So the invitation was right here.
Did you hand address it too in the front? Is it handwritten in the front?
Yes.
Yeah, see, those are perfect. If you ever, it's just for everybody. If you're going to send out any kind of mail, if you can do handwritten, it will get open because it looks like an important letter, right? In this case, an invitation. It looks special. Looks like
Yes.
something you might get from your grandma or your aunt or your cousin or something, right? Something important.
And I put like a nice little stamp. I am a very visual person, and I like also very good, good looking stuff.
Sure.
So, and I spend the time, this little stamp with my bean.
Yeah, it looks like the old stamps they would use with the wax, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I did send that. I sent also a video message invitation, and I'm calling them, and pretty much I sent 50 invitations, and I got 25 reserve.
Oh, that's wow. So you sent 50 and you got 25, did you say?
Yes.
Wow, that's about half the people said yes.
Yeah.
What a great response.
He did. He was.
Yeah, and you got to reach out to all 50. So even the 25 who aren't going to go, they know you. You're top of mind. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, right?
Yeah, correct.
Nice. Now, the event itself, what are you going to do when they get to the restaurant? What's going to happen?
To be honest, I'm just going, like a little gathering, talking. I don't want to do any, because I don't know what else to do,
Are you going to be standing around like eating hors d'oeuvres or
yes.
A drink, or are they going to sit down to a meal, or what's going to happen?
No, it's going to be on like hors d'oeuvre and drinks, soft drinks, and whoever drinks wine and a beer.
Are you going to have everybody wear a name tag?
Yes.
And hand it to them when they come in so you can remember their name. I always forget names, so that's why I like the name tag idea.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm going to do that too.
Awesome. That's a great idea. Are you going to have anybody help you, like when they like somebody that meet them when they come in and ask them to sign in and get a card, a name tag or something?
Yes, I do have somebody who's going to help me.
That's great. And so then you're going to do the butterfly mingling. You're going to walk around and kind of meet with everybody, right?
Correct.
Yeah, good. So you're going to be the social mixer. Have you done any of these events before?
Never. This is my first time.
Okay, my recommendation is that you make it all about the people that come in.
Absolutely.
You might want to have a little place card at the beginning, like you ever see like an easel and they have a card that says this is the event, right?
Okay.
A little card that says this is the event, this is where you're in the right place. One, people can see that to know they're in the right place. Two, it's a place for you to promote your business. So you say, this is the social for Sylvania, and it maybe your company name or real estate is something on there, maybe a picture of real estate or house, just so they tie in. Remember, this is real estate, the event is your name and real estate. Then when you guys are talking, you don't have to do that, right? The card already did it. And now when you're in the environment with the people, you can make it all about them. Hey, how are you? How's work? How's your family? How's life? Tell me what's going on. Let them bring up real estate at the point.
Correct.
One other little idea, I'm just kind of trying to share what people have told me they've done at these events that have worked well.
Okay.
Is whenever possible, if you can connect any of the people in the room together, they will love you.
Yes.
You say,
yes.
Oh my gosh, John, you got to meet Sally, Henrietta, you got to meet Herman, right? And this is why, right? Because you guys are doing the same kind of business, or were you looking for a roofer? Oh, here's a roofer, whatever. If you can connect people together, then they're like, oh my gosh, it was such a great party, right?
Mm-hmm.
One final thing is to ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
If you forget what to do, just ask a question and get them talking.
Correct. I'm writing it down.
Cool. So good questions to ask are simple ones, just like you would in any scenario, right? How are you? How's the family? How's the house? How are the kids? How's the job? If you can remember Ford. Okay, that's one of, there's many different ways to remember what to talk about, but the Ford stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Right. So family, how are the kids? How's the spouse? How's your mom or dad or uncle or whatever you know about them? Occupation, how's work going? Did you land that new client you wanted, or did you get in a job transfer? Whatever you can remember about them. And then you got recreation. Hey, have you been, like me, have you been riding your mountain bike? Like I love to ride my mountain bike, right? And then, so if somebody asks me about that, I'm all excited. I'm going to be talking for an hour. So you can say, hey, did you get into the knitting club, or did you go whatever? Did you learn did you play the violin contest or the concert that you wanted to do, or whatever their thing is? And then dreams that's a little harder for people to get. So that's kind of like, hey, I know that you dreamed of getting a giant mansion, right? You dreamed of buying a new car. You dreamed of going to climb Mount Everest. Did you ever do any of that? Right? Those are the kind of things, if you can remember any of their ambitions. Or ask them, is there any big thing you want to do in your life? Is there any big trips you want to take? Right? And you want to go to Europe, or you want to go to South America? Or, is there anything you want to go see? We just talked to a guy who went to the Antarctica to watch the penguins cruise around, right? So
how cool is that?
Just if you start asking people, you find out all kinds of wild things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that help a little bit?
Yes, thank you so much.
I like what you're doing. So people listening to us, how did you reach out? You did the little card. Did you also call or email or text?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us what you did.
I print out the people I'm inviting, the name, the phone number, the home address. I will have a visual. Like I said, I'm very visual. So I got that. So this is how I started calling. I first calling them to invite them. Hey, I'm calling you to invite you. I'm doing this little party on February the 9th. I want to invite you personally. Be on the lookout for my invitation. So in the meantime, I was getting ready the invitations. So while the invitations were being mailed by regular mail, I went and I did a little video in front of the restaurant. Hey guys, this is the place we're going to be having the party. I'll see you on February 9th. So everything has been a chain. So now this week I need to send a reminder to the people who say yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll see you on February the 9th. I'm looking forward to to come and party with you.
That is awesome. I love it. I love how you did a video in front of the venue saying this is where we're going to go and meet, right?
Yes.
Did you do the video just in the front, or did you do them a tour and walk them inside also?
No, just from outside because it was closed.
That's all right. That's cool. I love it. As you said, visual is so important. 80% of the population is visual. So you're tapping into a lot of people, and then 15% of the people are auditory. They like to hear things. So you're connecting with 95% of the people by the visual, and then the hearing with the video. And then that 5% of the people are tactile. They like to touch things. So that letter that you sent out makes them feel good, right? They're going to probably rub their hand across that seal, right? I have a son who's tactile. He likes to touch stuff. So that's really cool. I think that's neat. What was I going to say? You might want to do a quick reminder, maybe a text message the day before or the day of, just as a final reminder. And that's when you don't have to actually you could make the calls, but you could just do a quick text message. You just say, hey, you can make a formatted text. I don't know if your CRM will send them out, or you can just usually copy and paste. But you want to remind them of the place and the location and the time.
Yeah.
And say, looking forward to seeing you. And I think that's really awesome. One other thing I'll tell you on these events, you don't have to do that this time, but sometimes if you have a lot of capacity in your room, you could say, hey, bring a friend, right? Or bring a neighbor, right? Or bring a coworker. And what that does is it can open up your sphere of people that know you. So that's another idea to try to plus it up.
Yes, thank you.
One other idea is to do a drawing or a raffle. Okay. That will get people more involved, to get them to show up. You don't have to do all these things. You can do it for the next one.
Yep.
I'm just trying to give you some ideas. Is a drawing or a raffle for something neat. And then the other thing is, what was I going to tell you? Drawing a raffle. Sometimes people will tie this into a charity, like say a food drive. They'll say, bring a canned food, some canned food, and we'll put it over in a bag and we'll bring it into the local charity that does food drives. That's another thing that people will do, or whatever your charity is.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. I'm glad you take action. You're taking action and you're getting out there. You're going to be in conversation with people. How many people are on your total list?
This one is just short because these were my clients that I have made business with.
These are all your past clients, these 50?
Actually, we're 63, but some of them are out of the state. So
sure.
They're not going to come, but yes.
See, my question was going to be, if you had a list of 300, how did you pare it down to 50? But this was your list. Your list was 50, and so it made it easy to know exactly what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you. Now, are you going to be paying for the whole event?
I am.
Okay. So that's another way to plus this up as you go forward, is you might have a sponsor. So you could have your title company or your mortgage company or other vendors help.
Absolutely. I thought about that, but the first one I'm able to pay it. So my friend is giving me a good deal. Right. So that's why I'm paying for it.
I think it's great.
But the next time, yes, I'm inviting, the lender that I'm going to be working with. So hopefully next time they can pitch in.
What you do with that is just a couple quick things. If you do have vendor participation, it needs to be co-marketing.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure you follow all the guidelines. I'm not giving legal advice. Check it all out. But I'll just give you some of the basics that seem to be true.
Absolutely.
And that is, you want to make sure that they're doing co-marketing. So like if you had that placard out front, you could have your name and their name, and now that's advertising for them. And that's a legitimate reason for them to be paying for it.
Correct. That's why my invitation was only my name, because I'm paying for it.
Exactly. One other thing is, if you do have vendor participation in the future, do not take money from your vendors. Do not have the vendors pay you and then you pay out. Instead, have the vendors pay directly to the provider of the service. So in this case, the restaurant. They would write a check directly to the restaurant to pay for all or half or a third or whatever the agreement is. They would pay your friend's restaurant directly. Then they get a receipt, and that's their marketing expense for their business. And of course, they were there and they were trying to get business. It's a legitimate business purpose. But if you have them pay you, that's where it gets really weird with RESPA. So that's a mistake people have made, and that's something you want to avoid. Don't make a slush fund. I knew of agents that did that in the past. They would make a slush fund, take all this money in, and then try to use it. And of course, they never use all of it. Now they got money left over, and now the IRS wants to know what's going on with that, and RESPA, and so it gets to be a problem. So if you have the vendors pay direct to the service provider of whatever event you're doing, another example would be people will do these kind of events. The vendors will create the gifts for a giveaway for the raffle. So they'll put maybe a basket that will be raffled off, or 2 or 3 baskets that'll be raffled off, and that's provided by a vendor to participate in the program. Just a couple ideas to get them spinning in your head for the next one.
Excellent.
Are you going to do multiple events throughout the year?
I want to, but I'm going to see how this one pans out, and then after thinking about what to do. Usually I do on November the pie away, but it never been this formal. So maybe I will do a more formal, gathering.
And you can mix up the different kinds of events that you do, like some adult only, some kids friendly, mix things up in different venues. The agents that do really well with this, they start to plan maybe 4 events a year.
Yeah.
The reason is because as you're learning, you're going to be doing the reach out a month or two before it. So you're covering a lot of territory, a lot of contacts and phone calls.
Yes.
The only other thing I'll recommend is that you front end load the year, which is what you're doing now. So you got a February event, you might do a March or maybe an April event. Try to front load those things. They don't have to be every quarter, maybe do 4 of them, but they're all towards the beginning of the year, because that's, if your market has a lot of activity, then that's when you want to be in front of people, is before they're making those decisions.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, this is awesome. So,
Thank you.
This is awesome. Now, does anybody have any questions about what we've got going here, or any advice for Sylvania about what she's doing, and any advice or any recommendations or any things you think she should be thinking about? If you do, unmute yourself. Let's see if we can help her out and or build on this idea. All right, I guess you're on your own. You're going to be running with it. That's cool. Do you have any other questions or issues you want us to focus on?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, thank you.
Well, be sure to tell us how it goes on the 9th. I can't wait to hear the good news.
Yes, I will let you know.
Yeah, I bet you're going to get some referrals out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I had another idea. I'm trying to remember what event it was. I've seen people do this. Again, these are advanced ideas. These are for people to do events all the time. But when you're bringing people together for a live event, what they'll do is they'll have a little card, a little third of the paper usually, that they do a handout at the event. So like they'll give them their name tag, and then they'll either hand them a little card, or they'll have it on a table, like if everybody was sitting down and eating, and it'll be like a little survey of, what do you think of the event? And, you know what it is? I just remembered what it was. It was for the entry for the drawing. It was the entry for the drawing. They put their name in, and then they put their address and their contact information. Now you get to update your database, okay? And on the flip side, it says, hey, some other questions for you. Do you know of anybody thinking about buying or selling a home in the next 6 months? Who could you refer us to? And oftentimes people will know their neighbor's moving, their family member, and they'll write in the name and the contact info. And then you can amp up more referrals.
Correct.
And
Thank you.
They fold it up and they put it in for the drawing. So and then you keep all that at the end.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much.
You betcha. Sylvania, thank you so much for participating today. That was great.
Yeah.
All right. So does anybody else have any Valentine's Day event that you're going to be doing coming up? If so, tell us about it. Or if there's something you're thinking about doing, or even a marketing piece or anything else you would like us to kind of bounce some ideas around on. If so, go ahead, unmute yourself and let's chat about it.
I always like to send out cards. I used to send out Happy New Year's cards to all my clients, but I really didn't feel like I was getting much in return. I had sent out Thanksgiving Day cards in the past as well, but I think it all got mixed up in the shuffle of things. So now I'm starting to send out Valentine's Day cards, because not everybody gets a card, for Valentine's Day. And I just thought it would be something nice. And then it separates me from the holiday, Christmas, you know what I mean, kind of barrage of mail that people get.
Wendy, that's a great idea. And we can play off that a little bit. So if you can look for maybe what you call a smaller holiday, or a less fanfare holiday, I don't know how to state that. You actually, if you go into Google and you type out national holidays, or just, I think it's national holidays, you'll see a massive list of things you've never even heard about, like National Paper Day and National Take Your Dog to the Park Day, and just all kinds of crazy things. And if you were to celebrate those, pick those days to celebrate, you will stand out. I think that's a really good idea, Wendy. Have you done that in the past, or is this the first time you're going to do it?
No, I mean, I've done the cards every year consistently. First, like I said, it was Thanksgiving, and then I switched it to New Year's cards. But now is the first time for Valentine's Day. And I have a couple of farms. And one of my farms is a condominium complex, and it's very small farm. It's only like 90 condos. So I always include them too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I get a bunch of business from my farms, but this year I'll be sending out 400 Valentine's Day cards, and I hand address everything. I always do that. So it's quite an undertaking.
You bet. Again, I'm going to throw out this idea. And again, you probably already have all your marketing in place, but maybe for next year, other people listening, that you should play with the idea of kids and creativity and what you did as a kid or creativity, and try to tap into the person who's receiving the card and their memory of maybe being in school and Valentine's Day being this fun thing for all these little kids, and they were a little kid. And so in that vein, the card has little hearts on it that look like they were drawn by third graders or something, and it's kind of fun, and maybe even stick figures on it, and just things. I'm just playing around here, but they're things that make you stand out, right? Because they make it look different. Whenever you can stand out, like you're trying to do by picking a unique holiday, you're going to have an advantage.
What's funny, Mike, is that I am like a big kid at heart. And so when I picked my Valentine's Day cards, I went to Hallmark, and I have like Snoopy cards to send out. And I asked the salesperson, I'm like, do you think this is too immature to send out to my client base? And I also bought stickers. I'm big with the gold seals that you can put on the back of the cards. But I decided this year I wanted to put out, cute little Valentine's Day stickers. And I asked her, I said, am I going to look like really immature or something? And she's like, no, I think it'll be fun. And I said, well, okay. And then I always, put my business card in it. So
I think that's a great idea. I don't think there's a problem with that at all, especially if it ties into your personality and the people know this about you already. Remember, this is a unique list. This is your PCSY, your past clients, people have already done business with you. Your sphere, people already know you, your family, your friends, and the good acquaintances. And if they know you're lighthearted, they're going to just love this stuff. And if they don't, they're going to now learn a little bit about your personality. So that would be the only thing I would also add, is to make sure it does tie into your personality. If you are a laces down, always, real, I can't remember what the name of that is, a squared off person, then yeah, maybe your marketing needs to look like that. But if you're not, this will really stand out and show more of your personality. Because remember, people want to deal with people. They want to deal with you and your personality. So I think it's a fantastic idea to add the Snoopy card or add these little stickers and make it really fun.
Okay, thank you. And I also just got done with sending all the settlement statements out.
Oh, perfect. Did you get any response?
No, not really. But what I did is I mailed them in a bigger envelope, than a regular size. And then in about a week, I contacted them all to make sure that they received it. And that's when, it was an excuse to call them again. And a lot of them were thanking me for them. One client who he's an investor, so I'm going to be listing another property of his. He said to me, he goes, boy, no other realtor has ever sent me a settlement statement like that, so that was good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, you're always looking for ways, again, to stand out, to go above and beyond what's the expectation. And that's going to get you even more results. I love it. I'm glad you took action on that and sent those settlement statements out, and you will see more from that, I'm sure. Again, it's the way to think about it is like a piggy bank. and you're just dropping another coin in, and you're dropping another coin in, and you're dropping another coin in, and eventually it gets to be pretty large, and someday all that's going to come back with interest, right? It's going to work out very well because you're just building the relationships and the connections. What a great, I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad you're taking action. The only other thing I'm going to mention, Wendy, is, you're looking for holidays that are unique, where you can stand out. The other thing is, again, if you're in one of the markets like I am, where the spring and summer are much higher volume, you got to look at your MLS. Just look at the MLS monthly stats for either contracts, which I prefer, or solds. And then you go back a couple months, you need to be marketing then. But I know historically that if I were to do a time of a graph of the volume, it's like this in January, it goes way up like this in the spring, and then it comes down a little bit in the summer, and then September blips up, and then it goes out. And I tracked that for 17 years that I was active, and only 1 year was it not that pattern. And that year, it just kind of went like a bell curve. So it was very similar, it just wasn't the exact pattern. And so if you know that that's what's happening in your market, again, front end load it. So is there another holiday or small holiday or something you could think of in March? Another one maybe in April. Try to put most of your marketing budget towards the beginning of the year where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck.
Okay, thank you.
You bet you, Wendy. Thanks for participating. It was good to hear from you again. All right, does anyone else have anything they would like to share with this idea of the Valentine's Day event, or anything you're doing this upcoming month of February to stay in front of your PCSY, your past clients of sphere of influence? Or anything you'd like to add on to the things that people have mentioned so far? Any advice or help? Okay. All righty. Let's do this then. Let's go on to the next section. So that was section 1. We got a good run out of that today. Section 2 is there anything that you would like us to chat about on repeat and referrals that you're working on in any aspect, either your annual plan or something you want to do right now, or something you're just thinking about where you're trying to get more repeat and referrals? If you have an idea on that you would like to bounce around with us, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's chat about it. Let's see if we can help each other out here. Okay, everybody must have their referrals dialed in. Good. Well, I hope so. I hope it's going to be a good year. I think it's going to be a great year, by the way. If you stick through it and you're staying in contact with your people, everybody's been nervous because the market slowed down because of the higher interest rates, and that's true. And a lot of people are talking, by the way, I'm going to go on a little tangent here, but it has a purpose. A lot of people are talking about, the market's, it never changed, and its market's still strong, and everything's great. No, the market's changed. The market's absolutely changed. Affordability's changed. It's not going to dramatically go back to what it was a year or two ago, or even 3 or 4 years ago. This is a new market. Markets are always constantly changing and evolving. And the beauty of us in the middle and the brokers is we get to move if you're smart, you're moving and adjusting with the market, and you're always going to have business because people are always buying and selling homes, just maybe more or less, and more excitement or more fear or whatever is going on. But this market has definitely changed. Affordability's gone down. It's going to continue to be in that realm. But here's the deal. People are going to adjust to it because people move for reasons beyond the financial. Okay. People move for life changes. Just think about the big ones. Somebody is born. Somebody dies. Okay. Those are events that will change a household and people will want to move. People get married. People get divorced. Those are events that people are going to want to move or change households, right? People relocate, right? That's a big one. There's all kinds of reasons that are adjustments in people's lives where they want to move. People retire. Maybe they want to sell their home and move somewhere else, or they want to sell their home and downsize. There's all kinds of reasons why people, they get their first job, okay, the other end of the spectrum, and they're all excited and they want to get their place after they've been renting. There's all these life changes that you should be looking for and listening for when you're talking to your people. Sylvania, when you're out there at that party, you're listening for the life changes. You're listening for anybody who says any kind of life change, and you want to dig into that by asking follow-up questions. Oh, really? You're going to retire. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Are you sure you're going to be okay retired? You sure you don't want to keep working? Just play around, have some fun, and keep asking them questions, because you may find out that, yeah, they plan on moving to Sedona, Arizona. They plan on moving somewhere. You're like, oh, wow. Do you need to know what the value of your home is? Would that help? Is there anything I can do to assist you with finding out if that's a good decision or not, or getting some information? Right? Try to be helpful and provide data. But you're listening for those life changes. And then you of course, will adjust. You will respond appropriately. Like if someone's passed away, then you want to obviously show sympathy and truly show sympathy. And then, I don't know, maybe there's something there that you can help them with, or maybe not, but it's just the right thing to do anyway. But you're listening for all these changes, okay? And that's what the top folks I've ever talked to do, and it just makes sense. Anyway, I hope that helps there. Let's do this. Let's go into round 3. Round 3 is there anything that you would like help with for your entire real estate practice, right? Any aspect that you have a question about, from marketing, lead generation, lead conversion, which of course I enjoy talking about, but there's also all kinds of other areas, like how can you be more efficient and how can you be more organized, hiring assistants or managing people, any of those things. If you have any questions about anything in real estate, your real estate practice, and you'd like to bounce them around, now would be a great time to go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know what you're thinking. All right, I guess everybody's got everything figured out. That's awesome. I love it. Makes my life easier. I'll just try to wrap up on this bigger picture thing. Make sure you know what your goals are for your business, right? Because of an area like repeat referral gets fuzzy, because we're mixing friendships and family with business, and it gets kind of weird and fuzzy, and sometimes we'll feel odd about talking about what our goals are for the business, like our income goals and units and so forth. But you do need to have that. You need to have that objective sitting in your head that you want to get a certain number of closings or a certain income for the year. If you don't, you're just kind of rolling the dice. And what's probably going to happen is you're going to get the same thing you got last year. Okay, so whatever you got last year, you're just going to repeat that, because that's your level that you feel comfortable at. Your subconscious will make that happen. If you want to grow or change your business in any way, like maybe grow your income or reduce your hours, then you've got to have that written out as a plan and a goal, and you got to focus on that and kind of how you're going to make that occur. So that's kind of a big picture idea, and you want to be reviewing it often. So like I had a one-page business plan that I created when I wanted to increase my income. I got stuck. My first year I sold 5 homes. I was like first 6 months, but the first full year I only sold 7 homes. I say only because I want to sell more. And then I kind of figured out a couple of things, and I got to 20. But I plateaued. I went like 20, 21 the next year, and then 20. I couldn't get past 20. And I wanted to get past 20. And what I did to make that happen was I created a one-page business plan. And on the front, it had what my goals were and my plan. And then on the back were my affirmations. And I laminated it, and I read it in the shower every morning. It works so good, right? So I know this sounds crazy and silly, and I don't know, maybe it's offensive, but I would go in the shower. I would, do my cleaning on the shower real quick, and then get all the hot water and the steam. It feels so good. And then I'd have my affirmations, and I'd pick them up, and I would start reading them. In fact, initially, I think I had it somehow taped or suction cupped to the wall, but I know eventually I just had it where I would pick it up, and I would pick it up and I would read it, and I would just kind of close my eyes and visualize it happening, and I'd read the next part, read the next part, read the next part, and the next year I doubled my business to 41 closings. All right, and then I did the same thing the next year, and I had my new goal, and I was reading it, and I was watching it, and I was getting the shower. I would do, by the way, it was twice a day, the shower in the morning, and then at night before you go to bed, you want to read your affirmations and your goals, because your subconscious will think about it at night, and you'll wake up with all these great ideas like, oh my gosh, I need to do X. This is how I can solve this problem. And it's because you put it in your brain. Anyway, I did it the second year, and the next year I went from 41 to 95 closings, right? So I doubled again, right? And then I wanted to get over 100, and I put a little plan together for that, and I got myself to 105, then 113. I'm just telling you that there are these ways, these little simple things that can help you if you really want to grow. And that's an example. And so that's kind of my idea for what this third section is. We just talk about anything you want to talk about. But maybe some that'll help. Let's do this. We're kind of coming to the end, I guess. Does anybody have anything else they would like to say or ask before we wrap up?
Yes, Mike, I've got a question.
Sure, Wendy.
So I've received from a marketing company where they have it seems like a postcard of the month that you can buy a subscription to. And, you put 50 of your clients in the database or however many you want. And they get flyers from different, postcards from different like restaurants, or like they have the home and garden show. It's a buy one, get one free, compliments of me. So I'm wondering, do you think that's a good way to stay in front of people? Because they're, getting something for free. They have to buy something, different restaurants, or I don't know.
Value though, right? That's the whole point. Wendy, does it have your picture and your name on it and your contact info?
Yeah, well, it says on the back, compliments of, my name, and
does it have
has my picture?
Yeah. It's very important to get the visual of your picture and your name in front of them as often as possible. My answer is that may be a good additional piece for reminder marketing, especially for your PCSOI, depending on the cost. Mm-hmm. If I were going to do, let me tell you the most productive thing I think you could mail out that would get you the best results. To me, that answer would be to do a testimonial. So if you were instead, by the way, your idea is good. I think it's fine. But something would be even better to me if I were using my money on it, is I would create my own postcard, and I would do a picture of one of my past clients, maybe somebody I just helped, or maybe helped in the recent past, or even a year ago or 2 years ago, it doesn't matter, but a picture of them. And then if they gave me a quote on what happened, I would use that. And if they didn't, I would then state what happened, right? So if they give a quote, it's a first party testimonial. And if not, then I would do what's called a second party testimonial, where I would write out what happened, what their story was, their picture, their name, their picture all smiling and happy, either with a sign in front of the house, sold sign, or not, just standing there in the closing room, or just standing with you. It doesn't matter, just their picture, especially if they're smiling. And then their testimonial or their story. Basically, the whole point of the story is, if you can get them to start talking, is I had this problem and I didn't know how to solve it. And Wendy came around and she showed me how to solve it, and I got the result that I wanted. Boom. I'm happy I got this great house, or I sold this house, or I got this investment property sold, whatever the story is. Boom. That would be the front of the card. And the back of the card, and by the way, I'd have their picture and my picture on that front. And then on the back of the card, I would have, again, my picture and, some ways for them to get back in touch with me. And I would make an offer and a call to action. So, hey, if you want to get you want to find out the value of your home, here's what you do. And if you want to get a list of homes that in your area, here's what you do. And list of homes, if you know your group of people, you can really narrow that in. Like, here are my top 5 picks for pools, for houses with swimming pools, or my top 5 picks for houses that are back up to a golf course, or my top 5 picks for homes with views of the mountains, like we're in the Colorado, views of the mountains, or top 5 picks of homes that are on mountains with views of the city, right? Or whatever. It just creates a little more interest. And those are all mediums for them to get back in touch with you if they have any interest at all of moving. The most important part, though, is the testimonial on the front. If you can show evidence of success to people, that is the most important and valuable thing that you can do, in my opinion, and it's been proven in all industries, not just ours. But that works.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually know a guy that's doing that, and he is consistently selling 30 plus homes a year. And I laugh because he's constantly giving me this feedback that he's now the top agent in his RE/MAX office. He's pretty excited about it. And that was the big thing, is this postcard he sends out to his PCSOI, very simple. And it typically has a picture of his folks that he helped with a sign, his for sale sign or a sold sign, or just standing next to him. And then it's a very small little quote. And then the back has, like I said, a little promotion about him and some offers. He's getting great results. He said he's been busy, in fact, all throughout the last 6 months, even with all the slowdown. So sometimes the simple ideas are the best, but the most important thing I got to keep getting across is testimonials, evidence of success. If you could show that, powerful. And then plus that up, if you can get them to do it on video, woo! Because now with video, you can take a snapshot out of the video. That's your picture that you could use on a postcard. You can transcribe the video. That's your text on a postcard. Or, by the way, every time I say postcard, you can use this in social media. You can post this on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever you want to go. It's the same stuff. I say video because that's the highest level of testimonial as far as medium that you can get. Then you can roll that out into all these other things. And of course, the question always comes up, well, how do you do that? You can do it with your phone, just standing with them, or have somebody else hold the phone while you're standing with them and talk to them, kind of interview them about what their experience was. If you do that, by the way, get them to just tell it in their words of exactly what happened. How did this work? What happened in the beginning? Tell me all the details, blah, blah, blah. And then you can edit it down into something nice and clean. And then you can roll it out into text and pictures and video, whatever you need. But that's a super powerful, that's like the $1 million idea if you want to take your business to the next level, is to get those testimonials. I know they're a pain in the rear, but they're so powerful, so powerful. Okay. I don't know if I answered your question, Wendy. I think I did. I like your idea of the gift card. I just, while you were talking, I thought about one that's even stronger. Either one will be good. All right. Anybody else have any other ideas for Wendy, or anything else you want to chat about before we wrap up? We got just a few minutes left here. Okay. Well, I think we had a great call. I really appreciate everybody who participated. Sylvania and Wendy, thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us today your ideas. That's what makes these calls work. We do these calls every Tuesday, and I'll keep doing them as long as people show up and want to talk and get some help. So we do them every Tuesday at the same time, same place. We do record these. If you want to hear the recording, if you missed anything, want to go back, they're on Facebook, in our Facebook group. Okay, Referral Mastermind Call. If you want to get into that, just go to referralmastermindcall.com, add your name to the email list, and then you'll be notified every week when we have the call. And then Also, you can see us on Facebook, on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. That's Mastermind Agent Network. Mastermind Agent Network is the channel name. And then once you get in there, look for Referral Mastermind. I think it's called Referral Mastermind. And you go down there and you can see the calls. They are in reverse chronological order, I'll tell you that. So the oldest one is first. So if you want the newest one, go down to the bottom of the list, and that's where the newest one is. And you can check that out. All right. I appreciate everybody's time today. I hope it was helpful, and take care. Have a fantastic and wonderful week. Bye now.